Welcome into the first series of the day. It is going to be a two-series day. I'm going to be joined by Hurry. Hurry, looking at this coming into the series that we've got on hand here with Darkside versus One Move, it kind of does, for both teams, it's kind of do or die time for both of them because Darkside, they need to win this to at least be in with a chance of potentially breaking into the top three for that major slot. One Move, they need the victory here to potentially look to force tiebreakers. And if whichever team doesn't win this, it then, their fate is then out of their hands. And both teams are going to be gunning for this victory. How do the teams coming into this, how do you approach that mentally?
Well, I don't know for whom it is worse actually, because One Move, you have these young players. They've got into Division 1. They're pretty solid, but obviously not good enough to beat some of the stronger teams.
Hmm.
On Darkside, you have, I would say at least 3 people with a lot of expectations: Roger, Soneko, Ramses. Guys who, Ramses have a really big career behind them, and it is a big hit if you do not get it to the majors. So I think the
Yeah.
pressure is on both teams. Mentally approaching it, well, the the easiest answer would be, yeah, just don't think about it. It's another game of Dota, but it usually doesn't feel that way when you're inside the game. So usually when you start playing, once that first play has been made and it's successful, the stress goes away.
Yeah.
So make sure that that the game starts off easy for you. And considering that we're in Eastern Europe, we haven't seen much, many turbulent starts. So I think
Hmm.
the teams should be fine, at least getting themselves into it.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, coming into the series as well, One Move as 0-5, they have taken two games overall over the entire DPC. Coming into this final week as well, how do One Move, because they have looked good. We've seen like spurts of them looking really good against different opponents. Confidence wise though, they've got to be the lower team coming into this, right? Darkside maybe, I don't want to say underestimating One Move, but Darkside definitely come into the series as favorites. So One Move, this is it now. This is, if you've got any tricks up your sleeve, it's time to pull them out of the bag and get yourself, any hidden strats. This is the time to be using them.
Yeah, most definitely. Right, as you mentioned, if One Move lose this, it's out of their hands. Then Navi wins against Amiga on the 29th, and it's over. So
Hmm.
One Move, to be somewhat safe, they would need to win this one and win against Amiga on the 28th of January.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the other side of Darkside, yeah, I would definitely say that they feel more confident, and with a reason. When Darkside played their best Dota, they looked amazing, being
Hmm.
able to take games of some of the better teams here in the DPC. They took a game of Bedboom, almost won the entire series actually. So they have it in them, but consistency is an issue. It can be an issue with newly formed teams, and we'll see how it ends up going. But on the side of One Move, even at their best, they really weren't able to present themselves as a team that can fight against the best here in the DPC. So for me, for One Move to have a chance today, Darkside would have to play at like 70-80%, and One Move would have to be at 100, which is actually very unlikely to happen.
Yeah. And we can see again coming through Darkside because I mean they took a game off Bet Boom, they took a game off Team Spirit here as well. Have they played? They've not played Hellraisers yet, so that is the top three. So they may look to take a game, even take the series off Hellraisers, and that could be where they look to leapfrog to get themselves into that top three. So they have put out some great showings as well. The only one that a little bit questionable for them on the side of Darkside was when VP did take the series 2-0 over them. They didn't look like they were at the races that day. And, it does mean that Virtus Pro, they are now officially safe. Darkside, they should be safe as well. I'm pretty sure that the bottom three teams can't leapfrog them here. So at least they've got that mid-table
10
finish.
seconds
Um,
remaining.
finishing the season in that mid-table, not being at threat of
5
relegation. But yeah,
seconds
they would have been
remaining.
hoping for more. They would have been looking to push on and get that qualification into the major.
I actually think if One Move win against Darkside, um, One Move win against Amiga, and then Navi wins against Amiga, Darkside are actually gonna be gonna be fighting to stay in this one. Of course, if they lose this and the next series against HR. So technically, it is possible for
Yeah.
them to get into the tiebreaker for relegations. But yeah, I mean, realistically, it's most likely not gonna happen. And Darkside, you mentioned their series against Virtus Pro. This is the hero. This is the hero that was their demise, the Death Prophet. That is what Virtus Pro utilized twice to just completely crush them. And Darkside, they're not gonna allow it to happen again, and they pick it up for themselves. So showing that they definitely respect the hero, and for me, for a good reason. The DP has been looking like the maybe even the strongest one in the Eastern Europe region.
Yeah, there's been some meta
10
picks that just
seconds remaining.
doesn't seem to work here over in the Eastern European region. Like I
5
think you said the Lena
seconds
doesn't have a
remaining.
great win rate. We know the Batrider
55.
doesn't.
I mean, it has a
Well,
solid
yeah,
one.
but that's not what when every other region's playing this hero to the point where it is being hailed as unbeatable and instant win buttons and blah 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 blah. Coming into a 55%, that's just a respectable win rate to have. And
Dire team
heroes like the Batrider that
Dire
we've seen in other regions that are having
Radiant
a
team
decent
back.
success. The Rubik being picked up here, so one move.
Enchantress.
That is one of the strongest supports coming out. Batrider is going to be banned. The Ricky is still there as well, which we have seen again teams play around to varying success here in Eastern Europe.
True, but when you see a Death Prophet, you know that the enemy
10
team is going to be
seconds
concentrating
remaining.
on being together, right? Ricky
Mhm.
doesn't thrive in those situations, especially
5
against
seconds
a
remaining.
hero like a DP. You get some save for her, and no matter you sleep her, it doesn't matter. The ghosts are still going to be doing the damage. We did speak a little bit about percentages. Rubik, he has been very popular, but with that popularity, of course, a lot of games are going to be lost, and he's around 50%. But Snapfire has been
Dire
closer
team
to
back.
80%.
Radiant team
So
back.
this hero has looked really good. And I like that one move went for heroes like this, because these heroes without much committal do a lot of damage. And that is what you need against the DP. If you commit onto this hero and you don't kill her, you're close to her, the Spirit Siphon is gonna crush you. But if you have heroes that can actually do an amazing amount of damage from
10
far away,
seconds
Scatter
remaining.
Blast, Fade Bolt, and the Mortimer's Kisses, you actually have a good
5
shot at bringing
seconds
down the
remaining.
DP. And I like it. They're not your classic burst type heroes, but they're actually pretty good at doing so.
Dire
Do you
team
expect this
back.
as well to be the
Radiant team
core
back.
Snapfire coming out, that offlane Snapfire, or is it still going to be, because we have the Rubik here as well that is comfortable in that position 4. Do you expect it then to be the position 5 Snapfire?
I
ขอบ
would
คุณที่แจ้ง
say
ให้ทราบ ถึงไม่อยากจะทรา
that
บก็
currently
ตาม
it's more likely for it to be a core, considering that
10
they picked
seconds
2 of their
remaining.
heroes. But you always have the option to put it on a support. We have
5
seen both the
seconds
Rubik and the
remaining.
Snapfire in any position, 4-5, in terms of support. So it's not that bad having them flexible. I think this is the right way to draft. Get a flexible hero that can be a support or a core, and then get a support. This is a pretty good way to open up the draft. Though I would be very surprised if the laning
Dire
matchup
team picked.
for one move would be a Snapfire and a Rubik on the lane. But yeah, with the clockwork coming out now, it's definitely official. It is going to be a Snap core.
Yeah, and I mean we could always see the Snapfire meta as well. We've seen that a couple of times. I don't think it's been as popular again in the Eastern European
10
region, but it is
seconds remaining.
a hero that does have that flexibility to go mid or off, even in that core role.
5
The
seconds
clockwork as well.
remaining.
I like this because it does mean that you are only really committing the one hero onto the Death Prophet with that hook shot, and then you can rain down the Mortimer Kisses
Dire
on top
team
of the Death Prophet as well. So the Spirit Siphon not going to be mega effective, but Darkside going for the Primal Beast, and the Primal Beast is one of those heroes that just being able to dive
ขอบ
onto
คุ
the
ณที่แจ้ง
backlines,
ให้
you'll
ทรา
get
บ
so
ถึ
much
งไม่อยากจะ
disruption
ทราบ
out
ก็ตาม
and
Let's
throw
listen,
heroes
listen,
out left, right, and
listen,
center.
listen,
You get the onslaught in. You pulverize
10
through as long
seconds
as you've got your
remaining.
BKB, which the Primal Beast,
Radiant
doesn't matter
team
which role it's
picked.
playing, does seem to favor as its first big item. And the Venge
Those are
as
some
well.
those are some weird picks coming out from Darkside. Not something that they played in the past. Venge is a safe hero, I guess. So that's solid against the Death Prophet, but
Yeah.
it is a
10
weird one
seconds
for me for sure,
remaining.
because now when we look at it, we can't really tell, is this a core Primal Beast?
5
Is it a
seconds
support? Is this a
remaining.
core Venge? Is it a support? I think so far we have only seen a core Venge in the offlane one game being played. Other than that, we haven't really met the hero that much.
Yeah, would this be preparing for, because we know how Monkushi likes the Shadow Fiend, so being able to, he's not a hypermobile hero, being able to dive to the backlines with the Primal Beast, the Venge with a swap as well. So I'm thinking this is going to be, Darkside maybe thinking that the Shadow Fiend, maybe the Drow Ranger coming out here for one move and just being able to counter that with the Primal Beast and the Venge before it's even picked up.
I actually like the SF quite a lot here, despite the Venge and the Primal Beast. They like to run towards the SF, but Venge doesn't really get a BKB. Primal Beast needs some time, and it's not gonna be. It's gonna be a Terrorblade. Okay, makes sense. You know, you want some illusions against the Death Prophet, but I think they're focusing a lot on the DP. The Primal Beast is a problem for the Terrorblade, but other than that, I mean, the magical damage of Darkside is pretty low, and they are missing their carry, so it is something that can be a problem. Now you ban out some carries that are good against the TB, the Drow Ranger, the Morphling comes to mind, especially with Ramses being on the other side, and you should be good to go.
Yeah, Ramses, he's put on a couple of Morphling classes throughout the DPC, so I wouldn't be surprised to see one move respecting that and making that the next ban. And what would you look? Because I mean, we've had a couple of outside the box ideas coming through, like the Hack bringing the Luna into the DPC. Is there anything that you think that might not fit the current meta but still fits Darkside's lineup?
I actually, the one thing that I saw Darkside play, not very successfully though, last time they played, was a Faces Void. I wouldn't hate it in this game. You need some mixture of physical and magical damage. Faces Void comes to mind, especially because you're playing against 3 heroes that rely heavily on spamming spells, the Clockwork, the Rubik, and the Snapfire. So that's why the Faces Void with this time dilation is pretty solid here. But Morphling would be ideal. I'm still thinking if there's anything else that I would like to see against the Terrorblade or against this lineup in a whole, but nothing comes to mind.
Okay. I'm just thinking as well, looking at the Darkside lineup, the Faces Void gets banned. Yeah, so they give over the Morphling.
Okay.
Right.
So
and yeah, like you say, Ramsey's very strong on the Morphling coming into this. I'm surprised one move let him have it.
That's his strongest hero for sure. The strongest hero of Darkside, the one hero that allowed him to win a game against Bedboom. Literally the one hero. He was the one that solo won that game.
Yeah.
So I'm very surprised. Also, burst damage potential of one move is very limited. We talked about their potential to get out a lot of damage, but it's not really like boom burst kind of damage. You can kill the Death Prophet with it. But the Morphling can be an issue, really. So right now, you're probably looking at a mid laner. But no, they're good. Okay, Doom. Even the Doom against the Morphling sometimes cannot work, because Morphling is one of those heroes that can build into a Linken's and his damage doesn't really suffer. So this is gonna be an off-lane Doom with a mid-lane Snapfire. So I have to say I'm a little bit afraid here for one move. I think they're coming in as the underdogs, and I don't think they have a better draft. I would actually argue that it's worse than the one on Darkside.
Yeah, given Darkside, given Ramses his strongest hero, that he's looked super impressive on this hero, and the Death Prophet coming through, like you say, one of the absolute best cores at the minute in the Eastern European region. Primal Beast looks incredibly strong at the minute as well. Even playing, either from playing for all the way to position 2 all the way through to the position 5, the Primal Beast just looks like it's fitting in wherever it gets picked up. So, are you back in? I mean, Darkside, right?
Yep.
Right? Yeah. No other way really around that. But guys, before we get into this game, we are going to hear a quick word from our sponsors, EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
Okay, and so getting back to this game here, we can see that, like I said, one move, they really need this win to get themselves safe in the DPC, or even just being with a chance of staying up, getting to those tiebreakers here. But yeah, Darkside coming into this, they have what is considerably the stronger line, even the Enchantress. It flatters to deceive, really, the amount of power that the Enchantress. You think, oh yeah, okay, it's going to be bringing the creeps in, it's going to be, but the way the Enchantresses get built, in this kind of semi-core build coming out, you get the Hurricane Pikes coming through, you build maybe into something like a Drums to help out the rest of the team, build that aura out, and then you get yourself the Alpha Wolf creep that's going to be offering crits to your entire team. This lineup from Darkside should be ripping through one move.
There is this problem with the Darkside lineup. You know, it's not perfect in a sense that if they start losing the game, they could get into a damage issue, right? If you look at their heroes, all of their heroes can do massive amounts of damage, but that is if they're ahead, right? Imagine a Vengeful Spirit, a Enchantress, and a Primal Beast that are behind. They don't really do anything, right? So that is the one thing that you have to be afraid of. But then again, you have a Rubik, you have a Clockwork, you have a Snapfire. These heroes can be taken down, right? Especially with the physical damage of the exorcism. So it is not impossible for Darkside to play even if they start falling behind. But the thing is that their lanes look pretty powerful. The DP in the mid lane, usually Snapfire does do well in the mid lane, but that's against melee heroes. Against range heroes, not that great. Does do well, but doesn't crush them. The Enchantress and the Primal Beast, that's a scary one, especially for a Terrorblade. And then you have a Morphling who really won't be pressured. So I don't really think the Darkside are going to be falling behind. So thus, I don't believe that they're going to have any damage issues. But if one move with some early rotations, you know, from their supports who are very good at rotating, force out some things to happen on the map, we could be seeing a completely different game than what we expect.
Yeah, and we'll see now in the river. ROBBNROLL going to try and throw just a couple of right clicks onto Afterlife. So backing themselves away, it is going to be what looks like an even trade. But yeah, okay, it is going to be that even trade. I thought Roger was trying to contest onto this. Not going to be able to take it away from that Terrorblade, and it is going to be the position for Enchantress, so offers even a little bit quicker path towards that semi-core role here. The Venge playing position 5. Vengeful Spirit in this lane, up against the Rubik, you know, how does this trade off? Because he is starting with the Magic Missile, so he's not gone into the Wave of Terror just yet. Not going to be able to put, you know, the full right-click damage out on the Vengeful Spirit, but is this still going to be enough to trade up against this Rubik level 1?
I mean, the Vengeful Spirit is not that strong in the lane. You're not picking this hero for the laning stage. You want some levels, you want to have the save with the swap, and once you get the shard, you're pretty happy. So that's basically why you're picking this hero. Laning stage wise, it's not going to be that strong. It's just there to soak up the damage so the Morphling can get the last hits in.
Okay, well, we will keep an eye. Do you think the Venge on the position 5 goes for the Scepter at all, or is that just way out of the range of a pos 5?
Okay. If Soneko is getting a Scepter, it means that it's either 60 minutes into the game or Darkside are winning so hard that one move, they cannot even be considered to have a chance any longer.
Okay. Well, yeah, fair enough, because, like I say, position 5 on the bench gets the least farm priority on the side, and like you say, if it is finding the space, finding the time to get that farm to get up 4,000 gold before the 4 staffs, or even after the 4 staffs, Glimmer Capes, you know, support items like that, yeah, something really is going wrong for one move. As you can see, I mean, top lane, Gilga's trying to do his best with the Fable, get that harass out as well onto Ramses, but Ramses, he's just going to be coming in with the adaptive strikes. You know, he's already got that level 2, so he's got the adaptive strikes coming out to try and get the last hits. He's got the attribute shift as well in case he gets into trouble, and it's just going to look, I mean, how comfortable is this Morphling going to be in the lane?
I don't think he dies. That's it. He's going to be pressured early on a bit, but as time progresses, it's going to be getting increasingly easier for him to last hit successfully in the lane. So I don't think that the Morphling is going to have that much of an issue. Sometimes we see Morphling suffer in the first 2-3 levels, but in this lineup in particular, Doom and the Rubik, they can be annoying, but they do overtime damage. They don't do burst, so they're not going to be able to threaten Ram's life, allowing him to play a little bit more aggressive, and as a consequence of that, get more CS.
Yeah, bottom lane, Roger might go down. Roger will go down. Pantomime picks it up. He dropped the cogs. The right-click damage as well coming through from the Terrorblade just as the Metamorphosis was off. And Pantomime chases him down there with the Battery Assault, picking up the first blood against the Enchantress.
Yep, I mean, until the Primal Beast has Trample and the Onslaught, Trample level 2 and the Onslaught, the Terrorblade isn't all that scared. Level 2 Trample is when you really start to do the damage, and you do want to have the Onslaught. Considering he went for the Uproar just for the CS early on, you have the opportunities to go for aggressive plays like this, and Roger, he pays the price.
Yeah, and I like to see as well, I mean, Roger, he's not gone for the points into the Nature's Attendant, so he wants to get offensive here. Wants to get very aggressive on the Enchantress, being able to put out the pure damage with the impetus onto Munkushi, because again, Munkushi at the minute is sitting on 12 armor, but not a lot of health, so being able to throw out the pure damage on that Ench, really going to force the Terrorblade to either burn through his regen or sit underneath that tier 1 tower from time to time.
It's never easy playing the Terrorblade, because that there could be you make one misstep and you could easily die, especially when you don't have the Metamorphosis to just threaten the enemies with the overwhelming damage. So we're seeing that Munkushi is suffering. They did get the kill, but it wasn't really the Terrorblade who got it. So in terms of CS, he's definitely not having a nice time.
No, Sneko is going to be able to steal this water rune now as well from Aincrad. Aincrad not going to be happy about this. Sneko going to take a couple of shots from this. Does he want to go in with the cookie now as well? Magic Missile comes out, but Aincrad, can he get himself in? The cookie is going to connect the Scatter Blast. The right clicks now as well. He might be able to take the bounce rune. No, Sneko. Aincrad gets the deny on the bounce rune now as well. Sneko, does he want to try and deny himself to the neutrals? He's just trying to buy time, space here, which is going to be good. Aincrad gets the kill, but it does mean that the Death Prophet in the mid lane, he's been bought time and space for the last hits, for the denies.
Doesn't matter, you get the kill. You're gonna be feeling good about that one. Bad thing is he doesn't have the runes, so he's gonna have to be going back. But that's why he went for it, because he knew that he had to go back either way. So you're better off getting a kill, getting some creeps pushed to your tower, and then just going back after it, then just straight up going back to the base. But one big thing now happened around the map, because Munkushi got the kill onto DK Focus, and that is a big deal, a definitely big deal. Our colleagues have been talking as DK Focus being a little bit of a, I'd say a little bit worse than some of his other teammates in the team. But now he's going to be trying to prove a little bit differently here with the trample. Doesn't work out too well though.
Yeah, Pantomime coming in with the Bash Assault means that even with the the chase down on that trample, with Munkushi having the Metamorphosis up, something like this happens, the Cogs comes out, Pantomime is going to be taking the damage over, so Focus gets the kill underneath the tower, but yeah, the fact that he went down in the first place, couldn't then get onto Munkushi because of that battery assault. Focus, I mean, a kill is a kill. A kill is nice here for the offlaner. Any extra experience,
might get another one.
Does he actually want to go? I mean, the trample is there. He could try and go. Yeah, so he could chase. He doesn't actually have the mana for the onslaught, but he does get the kill onto Munkushi. Munkushi, again, not the highest health pool in the world, but the trample damage just burning through the Terrorblade.
He heard me, like, who is worse than his teammates? Yeah, not me, and he shows that what he can do. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Rabel is gonna be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, not all the Mortimer kisses do land, but Pantomime being able to come in with a Barrage Assault, and now the Exorcism, he's going to force this out of Rabel here now as well. Pantomime, it's going to pay with his life, but he still gets the, gets the damage. He forces out the Exorcism before the damage really could be put onto this tier 1 tower. There is going to be the rotation in though with the Centaur Conqueror on Roger, so they might be able to get something out of this Exorcism.
The strength of the Enchantress comes out from, you don't really have to wait for the siege creeps to push towers, because you have so much tankiness on these creeps that are being taken by the Enchantress, especially the Centaur, given that it's the tankiest one. So it does allow Rabel to do some damage here with the Exorcism, and it's not only a defensive clockwork kill, but also half of the mid lane tower being taken down.
Yeah, and you can see on the bottom lane as well, Munkushi, level 5, he's being forced underneath this tier 1 tower. Not quite, in fact, he's going to be a full level behind Focus now. So getting that kill, it really turned it around in the lane for Focus, and he's going to make the dive now as well. So DK Focus on top of Munkushi, the trample comes out, Pulverize is going to be there. Yeah, Afterlife gets the kill onto Ramses, but Focus, he takes down Munkushi.
That's a weird one that Afterlife really did kill Ramses. He does have the mana burn, so that can be a problem. Especially for the attribute shift, because it does take away a little bit of your mana. So if you don't have it, you're gonna have an issue. So that is probably what made a difference there, the Doom finding the mana creep.
How smart is Morphlin as well? I mean, water, they do say it retains memory if you believe in that sort of thing. As Focus gets the kill onto Pantomime in the bottom lane, but so yeah, the extra mana burn coming through, the 20 plus 2 times intelligence at this early on, that's a big pain in the ass for the Morphlin, like you say, especially if he's trying to attribute shift.
Not very smart considering his intelligence gain per level. So it's not easy to have that much mana, especially the mana burn creep is something that is that can really be problematic for you in the lane, considering that you're constantly poking with your attribute shift. You know that that your mana can get low, and then when you need to have the mana for the waveform as well. So it is not uncommon for Morphlings to get bullied, though I'm really surprised that the Ramses in the end did succumb to the wounds there.
Yeah, mid lane. It's gonna be, I mean, Pantheon moves out. They do find the Wild Wing Ripper here. He tries to throw himself forward with that tornado. Gonna be backed up by Rabel. Rabel's got that exorcism now as well. Pantheon, he drops his cogs, but the Spirit Siphon, the right click damage coming through from the Death Prophet as well as the Crypt Swarm should be able to, will be able to get the kill onto Pantheon. And now,
I think
they
they're
might
starting to look bad. They're going for the mid lane because you lost the tower on bot, you lost the tower on the, and you will lose the tower in the mid lane. There isn't much you can do about this.
No, I ain't credit, and especially with Pantomim not having that level 6, he's only level 4.5, coming up to the 10-minute mark, you know, so he's not even going to be able to get the hook shot in to set up for something like the Mortimer Kisses to try and burst down Rabel before this exorcism takes place. You know, Rabel, with the help of Ramses as well, going to be able to take this mid lane tower, nothing that one move can do about it.
In terms of getting kills, Darkside aren't that great. So this mid lane tower going down, it's not like they have a blink initiation hero that is going to be getting you the kills. But it does allow Roger to play Dota like what he's doing right now. And it's very, very tough for the enemies to kill him unless they use some of their big spells like the Mortimer's Kisses. And if he doesn't die, it's going to give so much space for Darkside to get farmed up. There it is, they do kill him.
Yeah, you can see the multi-kisses coming out. Roger, though, he's got a lot of sustain. He's, yeah, even with the raindrops, even with the one, not enough to keep him alive. Bogus, not going to be able to get the kill onto Pantomim. The cookie comes out from Ironclad. It keeps the support alive.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Rabel has found a haste right next to Gilgir. Very smart TP coming out from him, though. That would have been a certain death.
Yeah, a lot of damage there onto Rubik, and like you say, without the Hex, you'll set strength on that on Rabel. He was just able to TP himself away. Afterlife could be in a little bit of trouble now as well. The haste is going to be popped from the Death Prophet. Afterlife going to be taking a lot of damage. This one not going to be a TP-able gank out because of the Vengeful Spirit being so close. That magic missile would come through, and Afterlife would go down. So Afterlife just trying to do his best to walk himself away, and with the TP in, Pantomim, he gets those cogs down. Might be able to keep him alive. Rabel, though, does he get the kill onto Pantomim once again? The Wave of Terror comes out. Going to lose his courier. Well, Gilga's going to lose his courier, at least going to that secret shot. Pantomim trying to play around the rocket flare, but Rabel still gets the kill.
At least he saved his Doom. But it is Darkside that are making all the moves, and Darkside that are controlling most of the map. And when you look at one move, yeah, you do only have one hero that needs a lot of creeps on the map, but Munkushi is not going to win this one alone. What one move need right now is those level 6s, and that is a big problem for them, because this is the timing when Darkside are kind of weak. You know, the only thing they can do is control areas. They can't really kill you. So you need to be able to play around it and catch the heroes that are actually alone. But without the level 6s on your supports, and it's already 11 minutes of the game, if I'm not mistaken, the book was already read. This is a big problem for one move. You're being pressured everywhere, and you cannot punish the heroes that aren't actually there.
I like that as well from Seneko. It's only a little play, you know, a minor thing, but he dug up a bounty rune with the shovel. He didn't immediately consume it because Rabel was close, didn't immediately consume it, just like the Death Prophet used the bottle charges and saved it for Rabel to refill the bottle as well. So just the little things. Every little helps.
Usually you just spam on the ground and you take it for a stealth. But he had the presence of mind. He knew he was gonna get the bounty rune, unlike some other people, you know, who usually know that they're gonna dig up a kobold and then they get mad every single time about it. But one move, they're going for a smoke. They don't have much pushing power. It's about kills. It's about creating chaos. So they need to use this first Doom, and Afterlife is saving the skill points just in case.
Yeah, Pantomim is level 6 now as well, so they do have the ability, but in the mid lane, they're going to be able to take down Ironclad. Ironclad coming in with the cookie, getting way too aggressive across the river. It does open up now. They know where 4 heroes are. DK Fogus. Does Pantomim want to go for the hook shot? He does, he misses!
He knew.
Oh, Fogus. Quick feet, breaking some ankles there.
The second he saw in the mid lane that no one responded, he knew, and now his teammates are coming to help.
Yeah,
Pantomim might even pay for his sins.
He wanted to be the one in, or the one engaging, the one getting the gank, but he's going to be the one engaged on. The magic missile comes out, and they give the kill over to Ramses.
One move, they're like, yeah, this Darkside lineup, they don't really get kills, so let's just bait in the mid lane with our Snapfire. They're not gonna engage. But yeah, they will. When you get that close, the Vengeful Spirit swap. And if it's an isolated hero, Darkside can actually do massive amounts of damage. I mean, level 4 magic missile, even that in itself is a very strong burst spell. But, you know, when you have a couple of more heroes in the tower, it's always going to be a problem. I like that Aincrad went for the Boots of Travel. I think being around the map is something that one move need to utilize. Be everywhere on the map. Use the Terrorblade illusions to make something happen. But for now, nothing is working out. Maybe this one will.
Oh yeah, Rabel, he's going to try and get the Spirit Siphon off. Cryptstorm comes out as well. Just trying to get some last-minute farm before he goes down here. But Rabel can actually get himself away from this in the swap. It comes out. It's going to keep him alive. He's got the Spirit Siphon out. And the multi-kisses, as well as the battery assault, not enough damage to get the kill. Oh, skin of his ghostly teeth are on the Death Prophet with the 4 points into the Spirit Siphon. He might come back in. The Magic Missile comes out. Pantomim trying to run himself away. He turns around. The cogs come out, but the Spirit Siphon, the Grip Swarm, he gets the damage off, and Rabel turns that one around.
Aincrad putting more emphasis on using the cookie onto the creeps than saving his buddy. And as we're talking about it, one move are pressured everywhere. Literally, Darkside see everything on the map. Look at how aggressively they're positioned because they know. One move, now when there's no hookshot or the Mortimer's Kisses, their ability to kill someone comes only from the Doom.
Yeah, and the Doom's being chased away and being contested here by the Enchantress Roger, coming in with the 4 points into the Impetus, just trying to keep himself away from the Doom cast range, but still coming through and doing this right-click damage to Afterlife. With DK Focus being so close, even if he did get the Doom, tried to chase down Roger, there would be the gank potential coming through from the Primal Beast, and I don't even know if they get the kill onto the Ench.
One move have, you know, one thing going for them. They have 2 hands of gold, you know, so they are gonna be getting a lot of money because Terrorblade got a Midas as well. The problem with that, it means that this 3k gold is actually a much bigger advantage. And Darkside, once they hit their timings, if they recognize this, and they will, they can be even more aggressive because they're gonna know that one move they have a lot of holes in their lineup, and they're really not that strong.
Yeah, and you can see that it looks like Primal Beast, he's got the full BKB now. I was thinking, you know, what was he got for 15 minutes in? This offlane Primal Beast DK Focus had a really nice start, top of the net worth here as well, Focus. So he's got this BKB. They're going to be able to rotate Suneko coming out with the smoke as well. They've got this high ground vision on the triangle. They see where the Terrorblade is roughly. Just seeing these camps being farmed, the illusions, they're going to know anyway. If he's not in his jungle, he's going to be somewhere like this. Yeah, DK Focus, there's going to be the wave of terror. He's just starting to run himself away, but the onslaught's going to be coming in now as well. Focus can't close the gap. Can't get in range to get that pulverize off. Hookshot, it does come through,
nice
but there's going to be 2 trapped in. And now the Mortimer Kiss is going to be dropped. Suneko with the swap away. Is it going to be able to keep him alive? Then the Mortimer Kiss, Suneko is going to go down. They might even be able to get more, but now Rabel, he wants to be coming in. Spirit Siphon onto Gil. Gil going to be chased down, and the pulverize will be used. He gets
beautiful cookie.
Cookie, though, the damage, he has the shard as well. So Focus going to be taking a lot of damage and goes down. Pantomim gets that kill. Rabel has to go for the TP away.
Great for the side of one move. I mean, Doom wasn't part of that fight. He was farming, and you got a 2 for 2, whereas you only lost supports and you got a core, and 2 9-second BKBs have been gone through. So Darkside, this is the timing that we were talking about. Like, they're gonna take these items and they're gonna force everything. And they made a mistake. They went a little bit too deep. They got punished for it, and they lost the 2 9-second BKBs. So if I was one move, I'd be super happy with what just happened.
And the Venge. They lost the Venge as well. You know, even though it's the position 5, it's still a hero. It's still a kill. So it might only be you know, as much as a range creep, but it's still something.
I mean, this Venge, you know, she does have a solid amount of farm. It's not like the hero doesn't contribute into these fights, but that's very nice. Okay, Ramses. Pantomim twice in a row on the same place. He should try somewhere else. If he is not superstitious, he might actually become.
Yeah, I mean, I know we usually have a hook counter for any time anyone plays Pudge, but do we need to break out the hook counter here for the Clockwork as well?
I mean, that's a really nasty one, Rob. One move are not having a nice time in here, so stop kicking someone when they're already down. I'm here cheering for one move to do as much as they can, because they are, I think that they have what it takes to do well in Division 1, but for now they're just not showing it. So we'll see if it can happen, though. It's again Darkside on the aggressive.
Yep, and they're going to be able to get the jump onto the Rubik. The silence comes out, so Gilga not even going to be able to steal the magic missile to keep himself alive. I mean, the wave of terror came out immediately as well, so he wouldn't even have got that magic missile. Now, Aincrad, he's not getting himself away from this one. Frogus, yeah. Pulverize comes out, and Aincrad goes back in the box.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
that's when you have 3 more friends around, you know that you can just smash someone in the ground without any consequences. Nothing there to help Aincrad. He does have boots of travel, but he had another like 20 seconds left on that one. Roche was instantly scouted, so one move do have a chance to get here in time. The problem is their main damage dealer isn't close.
Dire's bottom tower is under
And
attack.
it doesn't look like the movement towards 2 contests as well. With Aincrad being down, yeah, it's just going to be done too quickly that maybe if Aincrad was alive, they could have come in with a hook shot, the ultimate kisses into the pit, clean up a couple of heroes, but it just wasn't available to them there.
The goal lead isn't that high for Darkside, right? You still have this Terrorblade. In the later portions of the game, he can't deal with the Morphling. He's going for a Scotty, which is going to be a great item for both the Death Prophet and the Morphling alike. But it is still that a lot of pressure is being done to you. One move have a long road ahead of them, and considering that they haven't taken down any towers, their map is getting small.
Well, bottom lane, there's going to be the hookshot in to Rabel now. Can he get himself away from this? Oh, Pantomim's the one that needs to get himself away. And yeah, maybe this bottom lane is just really bad luck here for the Clockwork.
Man, just let it go. Look, I have a ward down there. Just let it go, man. It's not working out. Bottom lane is the place where you're going for pickoffs. So I understand that it's something he wants to utilize.
And we'll see. I mean, they've got. I think the scan actually spotted out Aincrad just for. Oh no, that was a Radiant scan. Never mind, it was Radiant scan. So. I mean, they know Rabel's down here. They don't know if anyone is. Fogus is going to be TPing down. Do they want to actually make the dive happen? Because Fogus, he's coming in. He's trying to see someone or see what he can find. But Aincrad, he's got the blink. He's got the TP. Yeah, he's away.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, but Afterlife might not be away. Oh, he has finally been found. No, just a second. He was going. Soneko missed 2 waves of terror there, and he didn't find him. And now he finally does, just when he got his TP back. That's a 9-second BKB of the Doom, and you lose your life. At least Aincrad lives. So, one move. They're doing a good job. They're splitting up the map. They're buying time. And at some point, you know, you could get to a situation where you are stronger. But it's nice you have Midases, because when the towers aren't falling, you don't have a lot of creeps, so you want to get the most that you can out of those that you have. You have a Devour, you have 2 Midases. You are going to be somewhat keeping up in gold. That's why we see the gold lead is only 3k. But one move are very crippled in terms of making moves. Even when they get the blink on the Doom, it's going to be very hard to control the map. And that is the big problem. Even once you get your big items and you think it's your timing, so that the map doesn't get too small for you, you're going to go make a play. The question is, can you get the right initiation?
Do you, on Aincrad here with the core Snapfire after his BKB, do you go for a Scepter?
Nah, I don't think so.
No, see, you know, with Pantomime missing all these hooks, you don't want to spit him, you know, gobble him up, spit him out so he can get like a point blank one, which pretty impossible to miss, or even the Doom. You know, being able to engage, doesn't even need a blink dagger, just you know, you spit him out, you can Doom the first target he comes across.
I know what, the spit out is harder to hit than the hook, because it flies for a long time. It is very easily seen by the opponents who...
Yeah.
2 of the heroes have BKBs. Ramses has a way to get out, and then you have a swap from the Venge. So overall, I'd rather see a Clockwork initiating or a Doom initiating than someone flying in, because it's gonna give so much time to Darkside to prepare that otherwise you have a better initiation with the blink or the hookshot.
Yeah. Terrorblade, he's not gonna be too far away from. Okay. It's early. It's the first day of the week. So. You know, there are issues, there are pauses coming up, but hopefully they will be resolved sometime soon. But yeah, Terrorblade, he's getting close to having the goal for the 2 ultimate orbs. So that's
Tuesday is the second day of the week.
It's the first day of the Eastern European DPC week, okay?
Okay. I'm sorry.
I might have slept all of Monday, so I don't count that as a day of the week anyway.
Munkushi, He's gonna be meeting with 3 heroes here, but I think he's close enough to the tower to survive this.
Yeah, telekinesis does come through, but it's going to be even the diving from Clockwork gets those cogs off. Rotations coming through from one move. They want to try and make something happen from the Seneko. Going to be taking a lot of damage, even going to be slowed down by the bullwhip. So the ultimate kisses and Gilga with that Fable, he does get the kill. Afterlife doesn't have a blink. Oh, I thought he had a blink. I thought he was going to be able to catch up. Maybe get the Infernal Blade stun off onto... Well, okay, there's going to be the damage coming through, so that's going to be Gilga picked up. Hookshot, though, on the back lines over onto Roger. Cogs do get dropped. He's not inside of them.
And Morph is coming.
Yeah, it looks like one move. Afterlife has to use his BKB because Darkside, they want to get something out. Munkushi's already got himself away to the other side of the map as well.
I understand one move wanting to go for more there because you got forced to the bottom lane and you only got Avenge. Plus the Morphling is taking a tier 2. You're feeling like you're being strangled there, and then you try tracing for more. But you know, after the hookshot being used, you just don't have that much left in the tank. And Darkside, they've taken everything. Even though they lost the hero without taking one themselves, they are gonna be super, super happy. Okay, they've got the Rubik, yeah, I forgot about him. But they're gonna be so happy now. 2 tier 2s going their way with minimal losses, pretty much.
Yeah, Aincrad, it's not going to be in too much trouble. There was the Primal Beast trying to close the gap, but Focus couldn't get there in time, even with the, on the onslaught. Snapfire should have been away with a cookie. Yeah, looks like he's just going to go all the way back to base. But you can see the odds on the screen as well. You can see EGB given one move, 8-1 odds. Darkside, the clear favorites coming into this first game. And yeah, 17-8 ahead. 4K, even with the 2-handed Midases on the side of one move, they've still got this net worth advantage. They've got the Aegis, which is good. Well, it's only 45 seconds left on it, but that means Morphlin is going to be so close to getting it. He's even going to be able to jump onto Gilga. Telekinesis comes out. What's going to be stolen? It's going to be the waveform into the TP. So Ramsey's not going to be able to close the gap there, but again, still really close to having this Aghanim Scepter up as well.
That's the wave that people would like to surf, man. A very long one on the Rubik. But overall, I mean, I can understand why one move has such low chances of winning. I would give them a little bit more overall, just because you have a Clockwork. You know, if your map is very small and you don't have a vision hero, it doesn't matter what kind of late game you have, you're probably not going to be winning it without a big mistake of the enemies. But when you have a vision hero, everything can change, because even in the like worst of situations, you can find that right rocket flare, find the right initiation, and get the fight going in a place that you otherwise wouldn't be able to engage in.
Yeah, and you can see that Panzerman there, he tried to get the rocket flare onto Ramses. He was trying to wait out the Aegis as well, but Ramses just, as soon as that rocket flare comes out, he just moves himself back to his side of the map. You know, the rocket flares, they are still trying to find out where Ramses is. More of information than anything else, because Seneko, Fogus, they are going to be rotating in now as well, so they might look to, with the backup of Rabel coming through, they might look to make something happen. And Aincrad, he just has to leave.
Roger is just controlling the entire map. With him being in the triangle, Darkside can easily read what's going on in the map, even in areas that they don't have vision in. And it's just such a big problem. One move happens there, but you can't even do much. Soneko is going in.
Yeah, I mean, there was the hookshot coming through, but Panzerman actually not going to be able to make the dive. The illusions from the Terrorblade trying to do damage onto Soneko, but to be actually have the control into Afterlife having to move himself away from Roger, because like you say, they know where he is, and Roger going to be putting out this damage. He did actually go for the drums before the Hurricane Pike, but he's got that Force Staff, so the Hurricane Pike not going to be too far off following.
Roger just doesn't care. Their ability to kill him is very limited, and Darkside, they're using the necessity of one move to push out the waves to go for a smoke. Unfortunately for them, this Rubik is really being a nuisance with the waveform. This waveform on the Rubik has really changed so much for one move here, because Gilgir was able to break some smokes and survive a couple of times that otherwise would have been impossible.
Have we seen Afterlife use the Doom yet? Because, I mean, he's level 15 now. He's not even put a second point into it just yet.
No, he's saving it. He's saving it. So just waiting for the right moment to use the spell. You know, I don't mind not using it now. 25. Okay, Aincrad is dead again.
Yeah, they get the jump. The cookie form coming out here from the Morphlin, and having his own weapons turned against him here. Even, even the tasty ones with the cookies. But Morphlin able to get the kill onto Aincrad.
I understand now not using it, right? 25 minutes in. But in the first, from minute 15 to minute 20, just use it. Especially when the Roche has been taken, just use it, get the kill, get out. It's not like the enemies can do a lot with that one. Once they use the exorcism, they don't have much left in attack. Maybe now. Oh, ho, ho. ROBBNROLL very, very fast on his fingers.
Yeah, that was pretty much instant here. As soon as Afterlife was jumping in, immediately away there, even through stopping that centaur stomp, ROBBNROLL, reaction, he's cat-like, absolutely cat-like there.
He didn't have vision, man. Like,
no,
what
that
the
was,
hell?
yeah, that was all just of reflexes. Maybe just double-clicking onto it.
Man, I don't know what kind of reflexes those are, but they're amazing. I think he saw the rocket flare and he dodged that one, because you know the human brain very rarely you can react if he instantly blinks on you. Especially, I think Afterlife tried with the Infernal Blade. It has like slight animation, but not enough to react. You know, something like a Centaur Stomp, like a Slardar Stun, maybe this War Stomp you can react to, but to the Infernal Blade, you can't really.
I was going to say, yeah, he did have the War Stomp available to him. If he was going for the Infernal Blade first, maybe a bit of a mistake there from the Doom.
Infernal Blade is better than the War Stomp.
Is it?
Easier.
I thought
faster,
the War Stomp was pretty much an instant one on the Doom.
No, you still have that animation, you know, when you use the right arm and you swap it to the right as well. There is an animation for sure. It's not that instant. And if you looked at the Infernal Blade now, you could see that it is quite faster. Big items are coming out for the Terrorblade, though. You know, Munkushi has been, I don't want to say untouched. He did die twice in this game, but overall, he has been able to accumulate farm. He has the Midas on this hero. The Midas actually gives quite a lot. I don't know if people remember the patch. Now it was 3-4 years ago when the illusions started benefiting from the attack speed. So his illusions and himself, they're going to be doing quite a lot with this one. So that's quite nice. He's deciding to go for a Linken's rather than a BKB. I'm okay with that. Really not a lot of spells that he's afraid of. What I am kind of critical of, he doesn't have a way to remove the silence from the DP. Do they have a Lotus Orb? No, that could be an issue for the Terrorblade, really.
Yeah, he is going to be going back for BKB, but the Linken's to me makes sense because I think he's the #1 target now, especially with the Morph having the Aghanim Scepter to be targeted by the Morph from the... So, yeah, the Linken's, it does make sense to me here that he wanted to speedrun that one out before the BKB came up.
That does make sense. If he does get targeted by the axe, he's going to be significantly weaker. The BKB isn't going to help him in that regard. That is
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So, Roche, 2 seconds away, and you can see the Darkside, they are around this. They're hanging around the pit, and Roshan's back. So we'll see if, I mean, one move, they do have this long-range engage coming through with a hookshot as well as the Mortimer Kisses. Doom now has that blink, the second point into the Doom. So that can be effective, and we'll see. I mean, how are they going to look for vision here around this pit one move? Because they don't have one right outside the pit, anything like that. They are going to be seeing Roger, though, just on this high ground mode. This is a really nice one that sees just on their side of the triangle into the Radiant entrance of the Roche pit.
Yeah, one move, they have to pressure this mid lane a bit if they want to get one move out of a good position.
Roger, the hookshot, it's going to go deep in now as well. Onto 3 heroes to the cogs. It crashes onto 2, but Pantom's already going to be taken care of. The Mortimer Kisses, they were flying through onto Roger. Gilga can get himself away. Well, the cookie comes in. Where's that Doom going to fly through on the back lines now as well? Afterlife trying to do what he can to get the Doom off through onto the Death Prophet. No exorcism there for them. ROBBNROLL, he has to buy back. He wants to buy back. DK Focus using his BKB for the right click damage coming through. Munkushi, he gets the under. They might be able to get the kill. They will be able to get the kill onto the Morphlin. And now Pantom, he gets that dive in. He's holding on to that.
It's going to be a Roche.
30 minutes in, yeah, Roger. Can he get himself away from this one? They might even be able to get the die back now onto the Death Prophet. Death Prophet going to be chased down. The Infernal Blade comes out. Cookie comes through. There's going to be exorcism with the Spirit Siphon. Do they have the damage to take him down now as well? Snapfire just walking himself away. Might be able to get the kill onto Afterlife. Afterlife, no. The Ghosts,
it lives.
They aren't going to do enough damage.
they didn't get on top of him. The ghosts do have movement speed, and if you don't get on top of him in time, it's a problem. Ramses did get the his ulti onto the Terrorblade in that fight. So he did turn into the Terrorblade. Terrorblade was significantly weaker, but that one stun on the Morphling and him dying after the Sunder, that was just so beautiful coming out from one move. In the end, winning the fight. Ramses just not playing as safe as he should. And in the end, the fight goes to one move. And it's not only the fight, it's the Roche. They're completely back in this game. They have bought enough time, and Darkside haven't been able to apply enough pressure. And there it is. You have the clockwork. You have the ability to engage. If you don't have that vision hero, you can never start that fight the way you want it. But one move, because they have this one hero, he makes it all happen.
Yeah, and you can see the Darkside, they're going to try and smoke into this, maybe get a pick outside of the Roche pit, but Pantomime comes in with a hook shot onto 4 heroes. The cookie comes out on the backlines there as well, the stun onto Seneko, so he does give up his life, but it means that the rest of his team getting out alive. The Mortimer Kiss is going to be dropped now as well, but Rabel able to get the blink off before they do connect, so that is going to be down. It's only a 90 seconds, it's like 100 seconds overall cooldown on the level 3 multi-kisses. Yeah, 100 seconds, so not a massive cooldown, should be up for the next fight. But yeah, they get the Aegis, they get the... Who got the shot? Snapfire already had his. Okay, Rubik. I'm pretty sure Rubik, yeah.
Yep. That is a pretty solid one, especially if someone gets swapped out into a bad position. Saving them is quite nice. Also, one move didn't know the Darkside had the gem there, because Darkside lost it and Roger just went and picked it up. Before that fight even started there around the Roche, Darkside knew that the Terrorblade had the Lincolns, because Morphling used his ulti onto an illusion. You can't do it, but the Lincolns on the real one pops. So that's where they knew. That's why it took a little bit longer for that fight to start, and one move were constantly trying to do it. In the end, as I mentioned, they did get the morph onto the Terrorblade, but it didn't change anything given that Ramses died instantly, and that is him making a mistake at a crucial moment, not getting the attribute shift off. And because of that, they lose the Roche, and now one move are the ones in control. They still don't have these tier 2s taken.
Yeah.
But Terrorblade has gotten to a point where coming to a tower using the meta and just mowing it down is not impossible.
And you can see that Doom as well wants to go towards that refresher, and he's going to have a decent amount of gold towards it. Still holds on to the Midas, the level 4 Devourer as well, so he's still going to have a lot more of that. And he's even going to have the level 20, so if he wants to, you know, the minus 35 second on the Doom cooldown as well, that's going to be really big coming into this next fight.
Dire's top tower.
What Darkside now need, and what they've really been lacking in this game, is initiation. And that is why we're seeing the DK Focus Primal Beast. He has a Blink Dagger, and he wants to go for a Hex as well. They understand how important it is for them to be able to start the fight, because with them not itemizing that way in the first place, not getting a Blink super early on the Primal Beast, is why they weren't able to utilize the map going their way. So they were constantly pushing one move back, but they were never really crushing them and delivering that final blow to the last auto tower in the mid lane or getting the Roche. And now they're suffering because of it, because the ones that do have initiation are one move, the ones that have lost all of their map control are Darkside, and one move still have this clockwork, this vision giver that as the game progresses is going to be more and more valuable.
Yeah, and the lane pressure they can apply, well, since the Snapfire got the shard, so the Cookie's being able to clean off the with the Scatter Blast easily eating through any creep waves that do come forward here. So they can now put the creep equilibrium in any lane in their favor. You know, maybe you send the Snapfire bot, you know, clears off a couple of waves instantly, and then immediately start to push towards the top lane. Look at this as well, the illusions from the Terrorblade inside the base doing so much damage to the Death Prophet.
The one that has been dealing with illusions overall has been Roger, just by taking them for himself. But the time has come now in the game where his life can easily be taken. So he's not anymore on the enemy side of the map just scouting them to give vision to his team, but he's playing a little bit more defensively. And that's why the Terrorblade is allowed to do this around the map. Like, he can do whatever he wants, but look at how Roger easily deals with the illusions. Just a couple of impetuses and they're gone, or he could just take them for himself.
Oh, Focus. I mean, the ward is down, so he knows to be careful here now as well. The illusion hunted through from the Terrorblade. I'm not actually going to find where Focus was. So Ankrad, yeah, exactly this. Just move to a lane. You've got the protection of your team who are in the jungle looking for that farm that supporting the cause, making sure they don't get solo picked off. Well, Ankrad just solo pushes out a lane, uses the cookie, uses the Scatter Blast, and the creeps go bye-bye.
Yeah, you talked about the Soneko Aghanim Scepter, and he wants to get it, but the game is not going overwhelmingly in their favor. They're actually losing it, and it's gonna take some time before he gets it. Darkside now, before they get those hexes, one on the Death Prophet. Oh, Death Prophet wants to go for a Linken's. I'm not sure that's the right way. This game, they definitely lack the way to start the fight, and One Move are so aware of it. They're just doing whatever they want right now. They're basically doing what Darkside were doing for the majority of the game, but Darkside, it was tankiness. For One Move, it is just the understanding that the enemies, they can't kill him. They just can't die.
Yeah, and look at this, the Doom as well. He put off going for the refresher. He got a Shivas. So he's going to be able to get the dive in onto Ramses like this. The stomp
Like
comes out.
this.
There's going to be the Doom as well. There's going to be the Stars with Shiva's guard.
It's going nowhere.
Morphlin. He's not getting himself anywhere. That water has been frozen. And Rabel trying to move himself out. Now the Exorcism has been used, but he has to get himself out of the danger zone because Munkushi with his illusions putting out so much damage. Has that Manta style now as well. So look at the damage that these illusions are putting out. And so many of them just being able to rip through the tier 2. And even the tier 3 is going to be taking damage.
No buyback on the Morphling, but they forced the buyback onto the Vengeful Spirit, and they're gonna be fine with that one. Seeing the Exorcism, they don't want to go forward, and really, Darkside now for 2 minutes, they can't do anything, whereas One Move, they still have the ability to punish you if you get too far out. Hookshot, Mortimer's Kiss, lift into some spells, then you can still get a couple of kills, whereas Darkside, they can't go for a team fight without the Exorcism. And again, their ability to pick off is, well, it isn't there.
Yeah, and again, Afterlife, just that Shiva's instantly showing its use, being able to get the dive off as well. It does have the, the freezing, or it has the heal regen and lifesteal reduction by 25%. So with it being AoE, if you get a good jump, not only are you getting it off of the Morphin, you get it off on the Death Prophet and the Enchantress too.
I mean, you have the heal reduction from the Shiva and from the Scotty. It is just so hard for this Morphling to play Dota. I mean, let's be honest, even if there was no Shiva or the Scotty there, he still dies because he gets doomed. But it is overall not looking good for Darkside. I really like the itemization from One Move. I'm super happy that the Doom didn't just go for a refresher. Shiva is much better. Make yourself tankier.
Oh, the silence onto Pantomim. He tried to get himself away with a hookshot, it looks like, towards Afterlife. But again, Kunuri in the coal mine here for the Clockworkers. Aincrad just continues to push out this top lane. Does he want to try and throw another cookie out? Or probably doesn't want to reveal himself. Not sure where Darkside went after getting the Clockwork kill. So Aincrad, he's just going to hang himself around here. He does have the boots of travel, so can respond to any lane that gets aggressed on from the side of Darkside. But for the minute, just happy to look to get the split push. Morphling gets a double damage rune though in the bottle. If he finds a jump in with the Daedalus, this is going to be massive. So another jump comes through. They're going to be able to get the kill onto Gilga. Only a support has that buyback available, but yeah, the gem is now down.
Gilgir constantly was pulling the courier with him. I don't know if he made a mistake or he just wanted to pick up the gem if he dies, but either way, the courier dies with him instantly, so it's not like it changes anything. DD onto Ramses, but he is still dealing with the Doom. They have anything to break his Lincolns.
Oh, the damage on the multi-kiss is there as well, because Ramses, he's got that full Agi shift. Taking a lot of damage from that. He will be able to regen heal up quite quickly, but he's going to be careful. He's going to jump into the cookie, comes out as well as the E-Blade, and the stun onto the Ench. Nothing to clean Roger up, though he does get those nature's attempts. Hookshot comes through. There's going to be the swap though, so there's no Doom onto the Morphlin just yet. And Morphlin with the BKB going. Do they want to try and chase because they get the kill onto Soneko, but can they go for more? The cookie comes out onto an illusion. Not going to be able to close that gap onto Roger. DK Focus gets the TP away. So it looks like One Move just going to be happy to push the aggression right back in the face of Darkside on this middle lane.
Afterlife hesitated with the Doom.
I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, very early Roche.
Radiant are scanning.
That could have been a dead Morphling, because they broke the Lincolns. He was stunned. And he lifted his arms with the Doom, and then he stopped, and only then the swap came out. So he could have gone for it. I think Afterlife just for a second didn't believe in his teammates breaking the Lincolns, and that's why he stopped the animation. Then the second animation wouldn't be good enough. But still, you get the Roche. Darkside, when we look at them, they have no ways of getting into that bit. They have their spells, but literally no ways of gaining any kind of information of what's going on and getting the right jump. So it is going to be an easy road for the side of one move. And now there's going to be a double doom even before the refresher is out. Or maybe they give it to the Terrorblade. No, that's actually going to be Einkrad. Yeah, Afterlife is going to have the money for the refresher, it seems like, in no time.
Does he just sell his Midas here to get the gold that he needs to complete off the refresher?
No.
Or do you keep that until you have that refresher as well? Because, I mean, he is pretty much 6-slotted as Munkushi gets the kill onto Roger in the river.
So, you know, in times when things are going badly for you, then you sell the gold, right? You carry it with you all the time, and you have nothing to eat. You give the gold away, man. He has more than enough money, so no reason to sell his gold in hand.
Okay. You just keep it out there. There's going to be a fight breaking out. Look, they're going to jump onto them. They're going to be doing a lot of damage onto Ramses. Ramses going to get himself a win. The multiple kids still go. And Gilgit, he stole the ball right. The silence comes out onto the Rubik. So not going to be able to complete. Seneko will go down. Rabel, what's he going to be able to do here with the Exorcism? With the Spirit type, and all he's going to be able to do is die. And now the jump as well to get the kill onto the Primal Beast. That was the first Doom being used in Afterlife. He's going to be going for that overwhelming blade, but with 4 heroes being down, well, Roger is going to be coming back alive, but 3 heroes dead, 2 of them with buybacks. Fortification is going to be used 1 move. You have that metamorphosis up. You want to move onto this tier 3 tower.
Be careful.
The refresh over the BKB. Can they chase him down? Now the buyback, it comes through from Darkside. They want to get themselves into this, but Ramsey's going to be chased down. He's going to be killed off and cleaned up. He has the buyback into this fight. Forcing buybacks through from absolutely everybody here. 1 move. This is going to be a great trade. Even if they do lose the Aegis from this, the hookshot comes through. And if he can get this kill onto Ramses, this game might just be over here and now. Einkrad as well. He's got himself the Eon Disc. They're going to be able to get on top of Ramses. He can't regen through. He's dead. 118 seconds. They clean up onto Roger again. 4 heroes down. Rabel, you know, he's good, but I don't think he's 1 versus 4 good.
Not for long. what is he good with? You know, he dies in a second. This Terrorblade got to a point where he's so strong in 1 move. This has been the way that they have been winning, is when Munkushi gets super over farmed. And that Midas was the best decision he could have made. His map got so small. If he didn't have it, his gold would never be high enough for him to have the impact in that one crucial fight that happened around the Roche Pit. Because he had that Midas. He kept himself relevant in terms of net worth. Even Dota Plus, that like these guys have no chance to win, but boy oh boy, Pantomime on the clockwork with a score of 115 just manages to find those fights. We were laughing at him and his hook shots at the start of the game, but that one big hook shot and that one big initiation around the Roche Pit is actually what gives one move this chance to come back into the game, and then they ended just easily. So beautiful performance there towards the later stages of the game. But Darkside, this is the thing. This is what happens when you have a lineup. It needs to continue scaling, and then you get your 9-second BKBs going to a fight and you do nothing. And then you're gonna start seeing the problems with that one. The problems with you not utilizing your timings when you're this far ahead, when you're that much stronger than the enemies. And ultimately, you know, those little things, they give one move the chance to come back.
Yeah, and God, did they pull it back there? You can see that Munkushi, again, if you give this player time and space, Munkushi, he's shown it before on the Shadow Fiend, shown it again on the Terrorblade, that if he isn't dealt with, like you say, if they don't get that early time in the early aggression Darkside and they don't push an advantage, Munkushi just has the wits about him to get himself back into the game. And 9-2-9 ends on 32k, 10k above them. Obviously, the Morphin had to buy back at the end of the game, takes away some of his net worth, but just sitting so high here, Terrorblade, that he was never, once he did get the farm off you, there was one about 15, 16 minutes in the top triangle where he did move himself away from the danger. They even turned it around, got a good couple of kills off that as well. But Munkushi never really ever in danger after the laning stage, and it pays off for him.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one move now, when we go back even to the draft and with those last bans, they had the decision. Ramses, he plays Void, he plays Morphling. Which one do we give? Void that he is good on, or Morphling that he's awesome on? And they look at the enemy heroes, they look at their own heroes, and they come to a conclusion that they're gonna deal with the Morphling in a better way. And it comes out as true, because Ramses, he just didn't have that much lockdown in this game to dish out the damage. Even though he was super farmed at one point of the game, he wasn't murdering people fast enough. And then it came down to a point where you could deal with him. You're not going to be dealing with that big team fight spell that is going to be taking a life or two of one of your heroes. So awesome predictions from one move, just to know which hero to let through and exactly how to, with items and movements, deal with it.
Yeah, and that is game number 1, guys. It puts OneMove in such a comfortable position to take this series and hopefully make a bid for survival in the Eastern European DPC. So we are going to be getting ourselves into game number 2, but first we're taking a break, so we'll be back for game number 2 right after this.